This is Ozzy, and he's part of a new generation. One that's addicted to social media and dropping out of college. Like millions, his dream is to become an influencer, and he's worked for it.
I've posted over 700 videos. I'm used to working for free.
The result? 8,000 hours worked over the past 5 years. But for what? So you're making zero per month today.
0 per month, yes.
There has been a shift in the recent years. This generation aspires something different. This video will highlight our new reality and present strategies that cater to the aspiration of this new era. Let's dive in. Welcome to Finance Action, the show where we take action. My name is Romain, and today I am with Ozzy. Ozzy, how are you doing?
I'm doing incredible.
Awesome. Ozzy, let's look at your profile. Ozzy, you are 23 years old, you're originally from San Diego, and you currently live in San Diego, and you work as a full-time YouTuber. Is that right?
That is correct.
Looking at the way you rated your personal finances from chilling to Mayday, ladies and gentlemen, you rated yourself as surviving. This is good to hear, but it's not perfect, as we know, and we'll be diving into some of those components in this story. Ozzy, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on?
So, I am a YouTuber. The reason I wanted to be a YouTuber is because in high school, I was kind of a lonelier kid, and I would watch other YouTubers, and I felt closer to these people online more so than I did to people in person. And so it was really easy for me to pick what job I wanted to be because the way I was lonely in high school and I looked up to these YouTubers, I knew that I wanted to do the same thing for kids in the future. And every day I was there, I kind of felt that I was wasting my time. I felt that I'm not going to do something with a degree. I felt that the opportunity cost of being in class and what could be spent on editing. I remember at one point I was posting 3 vlogs a week. I had a marketing job. I went to the gym every day and I went out with my friends and I was just sacrificing sleep. So I decided to drop out, which was against the advisement of my parents and friends because I didn't have the numbers to show for it. But I've always just believed in myself so much, and I still believe in myself so much. But even now, I told you before the show, I'm a 9 out of 10 happiness, but I know that if I just keep going on this burning money route to try to make my dreams a reality, that might not be the smartest way to actually make them a reality. So I'm so blessed to be sitting here with you, who's going to help me come up with a better plan.
Exactly. Okay, sweet. Well, thank you for bringing me through the story, guys. Being a YouTuber seems to be the dream of a generation, you know.
Yeah.
Kids, I mean, my time, I'm not that old. I'm 10 years older or so than you. But, you know, we didn't have that much of a concept. Some of the big stars were not on YouTube yet.
Yeah.
I remember I wanted to be a doctor. Actually, that was the job that my brother is doing.
Yeah.
Never thought I would be in finance, to be frank with you. But now it seems that everyone, or a lot of kids, are striving towards achieving that dream. And you've been in the game now for years.
It's true.
When did you start?
So I started my first YouTube channel May of 2019.
Okay.
So it's going to be 5 years and 1 month.
Woo! Okay.
I've had over 3 different channels. I did over 100 videos that were vlogs. And then I had a trap beat YouTube channel, like freestyle trap beats, over 100 videos. And now I'm on podcast, and that also has over 100 videos. I've posted over 700 videos. Been doing this for a long time. I'm used to working for free.
Thank you for walking us through some of the statistics. Here for the audience, I'm going to put a quick picture of your channel, the one that you're right now investing most of your time, and you're doing it full time.
Yes.
Right? Okay. There's been a shift in the way the young generation is looking at work, the way the young generation is looking at education. And I think that today this is going to speak about some of the steps that are atypical, because I have some ideas as to how we will be approaching your situation.
Yes.
That may seem a little bit controversial. So we'll be looking into this together, especially if you may be a young parent or looking at life a little bit different. So you've been doing this for years. You rate your happiness, though, despite having challenging results, I will say. still a 9 out of 10. So your spirit is still very strong. What continues to light your spirit towards that passion despite the lack of results at this time?
I strive to make this my career, and to make it my career, I have to have money so that I can buy a house and support a family one day. But I get to do what I love every day. I get to film podcasts. A lot of people say enjoy the journey, but then they are upset when the results don't look a certain way. I think a lot about the post button. So you post YouTube videos, I post YouTube videos. A lot of people post YouTube videos and then they wait to find out if it was a success. They go, based on how many views, how many likes, how much money it makes, then I will decide if that video is successful. That's how you run a business. But for me, I always say I measure success by relationships and memories. So if I have a good time and I create a relationship that all happens before the post button, then I deem that a success. I love my job. I look at my parents, my siblings. I look at people who make a lot more money than me, and they are not as happy, and they don't enjoy it as much because they feel almost prisoner to their job. I will say though, I'm at a super biased position because right now I have the luxury of living in my parents' house. I have the luxury of being able to experiment without being homeless. So I know that this can't go on forever, but right now I just get to do what I love, and I get to live with my family whom I love. And it's really, I feel that I'm already in my dream job. I'm already living my dream job, and I'm excited to figure out a way to monetize that.
That was a really good answer, mate. Okay. And while I appreciate you walking me through those emotions that I think are really showcasing the amount of patience and work that you're willing to put into this, I'm going to take that into consideration as I think about your recommendations. Okay. You just shifted a little bit the trajectory that I was going to go around our discussion. So, okay. All right. But at the end of the day, we need together to find a way to make this somehow sustainable. Okay. And again, this position that you find yourself in is not just for a YouTuber. It can be for an artist. It can be for anyone that is finding some type of route, a passion, or hobby that they want to monetize. And how should they go about pursuing this in a financially sustainable way, and also pretty strategic as you think about establishing your future? Okay. So now that we know a little bit more about your story, let's look into the specifics of your finance, which our first segment, which looks at your income and your assets. A brief apartheid to let you know about this week's sponsor, Aura, and let me speak from experience. Every week, news breaks about a new cyber attack or a potential data leaks, and that has led consumers to not really knowing how to protect themselves anymore. It puts them at risk of credit fraud and identity theft, and we've seen people on this show facing those issues. Aura, pretty much they offer you a monitoring services for your personal information. They will alert you quickly if they detect any form of threats or if your information has been compromised. They will also help you out to deal with some potential threats. Their services allows you to encrypt your Wi-Fi information, protecting your phone and your computer from malware. Aura is pretty much used by tens of thousands of people across the United States. They are the leader in their sectors. I use them myself, and so I encourage you to check out their services. I have a link in the description below. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back to our content. Right now, with less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you're not yet monetized.
Nope.
Do you have any other form of income?
No. I had a marketing job for a year and a half after dropping out of school, and then I stopped to go all in on YouTube. I didn't get monetized, so now I'm in that in-between phase where I'm running out of the money I made marketing, and I would like to continue to invest in my passion, but I don't have the money, so I'm looking for another form of income.
Okay. Do you have any education? So you mentioned you went to school, so you didn't graduate from anything. You don't have no diploma.
Nothing outside a high school diploma, no.
So you're making $0 per month today.
$0 per month, yes.
Okay. So let's think about this because, when we look at your expenses, and we'll be diving into this, it's difficult for me to enter zero when we think about, creating financial stability. Let's be frank. You can't create something with zero. Okay. So let's think about this when we think about our recommendations. But you have some money.
I have $300 in my bank account, and then I have $6,582
In what?
in crypto.
What type of crypto? Come on, don't give me the shit coins. Are they good ones at least?
I think 90% of it is in Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. I might have
Are you up on it? I mean, you must, because they are reaching all-time highs right now.
I think I'm breaking even from when I bought 4 years ago.
Oh, so you bought at peak?
I bought at peak 4 years ago, and it's about when I bought.
And you stayed stable? You didn't sell?
I didn't sell any of it. No.
Wow. Okay. Diamond hands, as they may say. All right. You stuck all the way. All right. We'll be thinking about how we use this money. I think there is better routes right now, especially when we think about your situation. Do you have anything else?
Nope.
Saving accounts? Retirement?
No.
Car?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Peanuts. Okay. All right. So that brings right now together is we look into the specifics of your financial situation and the amount of money that if you sell everything you own, except for some of the tangibles like your computer and so on, liquidity, 6,932.
Sounds accurate.
All right. Now let's transition to our next segment, as we are kind of spinning through some of the finance process, because I want to put quite a bit of time as to the strategy behind your situation that we'll see just later on. And let's look at your expenses and your debt. Ladies and gentlemen, for the most part, our friend here, I mean, you don't have many expenses. That's the nice thing about it. Here, if I look at some of your statements, you're not paying for rent. Thank you, Dad and Mom. You're not paying for phone. You don't have a car. You don't have a pet. You don't have medical insurance. Everything is kind of covered except for, let's look at a couple things here. About 4 things. 1, you have food. You're going out a little bit, but not excessive. You're pretty frugal, around $300 per month or so.
Yep.
Gas, a little bit. When you use the car of your parents, it appears here, I see a little bit of gas expenses, but nothing crazy. What about, how much would you say per month?
Maybe $100 per month.
$100, okay. And I see, however, something that just recently hit, you have debt.
I do.
Okay, what type of debt?
Student loan debt. So when I went to college, my dad made me take out roughly $5,000 a year. I went to college for 2 years and dropped out. So
you didn't get an associate from it? How come?
What is an
associate degree? That's if
I might have an associate. I'm not sure.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good for you to check. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I never think about school.
So you just dropped.
When I left school, I never thought about it again.
Okay.
Which maybe is not smart.
Okay. Well, we'll think about this. How much debt do you have in total on it now?
$11,980.
And that is federal?
Yes.
Okay. How much are you paying right now per month?
$250, but I haven't paid it the last month or two.
How come?
My understanding, I actually don't know this, so you might have to educate me. Mm-hmm. My understanding is that you can either pay it month by month, or that if you don't pay it, it will increase. And I believe that if I spend more in my business and myself, that I'll actually be able to pay it back faster than if I just pay it month by month. But that's partially because I have no form of income. Maybe if I had a form of income, I would think differently.
Yeah, well, I mean, mathematically, definitely not working this route.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to end up paying much more. On top of that, I would have to think if a lack of payment on a federal student loan has a negative impact on the credit score. I would have to look into that. But what is your credit score today?
650.
Okay. Do you have any form of credit card debt?
No.
Do you have credit cards?
I have one credit card.
Okay. What do you do with it? Do you use it?
If I have an opportunity to use it and I know that I can pay it back immediately, then I will use it.
Okay. So you've never stacked on credit card debt?
No.
Do you have any other form of debt today?
No.
Okay. That brings your current amount of debt right now at $11,980.
Yes.
If we look at your net worth today, Ozzy, you're showing up with minus $5,048. However, not all is done. In fact, you're just starting your life. And so now we have to think together as to how can we bring this and strategize on your situation, taking a gamble at it, because I may allow for it, but not in the way that you're thinking.
Okay.
Let's move forward to our next segments, the money case. All right. So I think this one is going to be interesting. And guys, as always in this channel, I have absolutely no problem opening up. Okay. But here, guys, I'm going to open it on my stats myself to give you a little bit of perspective. Okay. When we think about the median outcome for people in your age, okay, between 20 and 24 years old in the United States, 50% make more, 50% make less. The median is at around 36,500. What I'm about to open up is the revenue that I've made so far on YouTube myself.
Oh, wow.
And what I want to show, despite us achieving 1 million views in the span of a couple months since we released, is that YouTube can be a very tricky spot financially, especially as you think for you as your primary income, okay? Because let me tell you, yes, it may seem like crazy, but in reality, for the amount of work and time that you've put into it and that I've put into it, man, we are so far from minimum wage. I mean, in your case, you've put years into it for peanuts financially. The way we think about YouTube and monetization for content creation is pretty sparse, right? You have sponsorship, partnership, affiliate, as well as AdSense, which is the one that we're going to be speaking together today. This is the revenue that YouTube is willing to pay advertisers to promote on your channel. And then it's generally calculated by 1,000 views. So when you're making, gaming content, you may average about, 50 cents per 1,000 views. And it elevates depending on the industry that you're in. Finance is one of the most expensive, which is lucrative, which is nice for me. I can't deny it. But it's also one of the most challenging to attract viewership because it's such a niche market, okay? So today, for a video that averages around 10,000 views, I make $137.
Wow.
Okay? I'm going to push it further. I had a video that reached 205,000 views, okay? So this one was a pretty big one. For this one, and it was, like it got viral, right? On AdSense, $2,000. When you think about the median in the United States of 36,000 for someone in your age, and for someone in my age, it's much greater. On a viral video making $2,000, dude, it's tough. It is tough. But you're betting on the fact that you are going to be able to make it, right? You're betting on the fact that this is an investment that you have to make. And so that's why, in a way, you need the financial backup. And now I'm going to bring it all together, and I think you're going to have a surprise around it. When we look at the total amount of money so far that the channel has generated, and we just celebrated our 1 million views. Thank you very much, guys. On YouTube, I've made $6,700.
Wow.
Dude, this is more than 30 hours a week for 8 months. It's nice. I'm not going to say no. Everybody starts somewhere, but it's rough. So what I want to tell you is the only way today, I believe, for someone to make it on YouTube, if they satisfy the condition that, well, they don't have money that's coming from the parents, or they just have to live a regular life, you have to complement it with a full-time. This is not going to bring you anywhere. This, my friend, right here, $6,000 is 8 months of work. Again, you're betting on the future. But when you think about going full route, number one is going to take a lot of time because people think, everybody goes viral. No, 90% of videos that get published on YouTube don't reach 1,000 views. Only a very, very small amount of YouTubers actually surpass 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, and 1 million. So we have to think about it strategically, okay? And this is what brings me to my next segment now, which I think is going to be extremely interesting, not just for you, but for people that want to go at their hobby and their passion. Let's move on to our recommendations. This is how I will think about your situation, my friend. Number one, if we look at your needs today, I'm going to go through some of the finance component, but I think this one's going to be more qualitative than quantitative. Well, number one, I mean, you have a negative net worth today. So I love the experience. I love all of that. But at 23, a negative net worth, knowing that you don't have to pay for rent, you don't have to pay for a car, you don't have to pay for insurance, you don't have to pay for nothing, it's pretty tough to justify, my friend. Huh? Because today, your needs, the amount of money that you need to survive per month, because the money your parents pay for most of it, is $720. It's peanuts. Okay? That is your needs. Now, in your wants, I'm including about how much does it cost you to run your YouTube channel right now per month?
$300 to $500.
Okay, that's much better than mine because as you guys may have seen in one of my other videos, so far in 2023, I invested around $32,000 in the channel. But again, me on the side, I have to be fully transparent with you, dude. I was pulling 73, 75 hours a week last year. I had to find money somehow to make the venture worth it. Because the environment is so competitive. Today, you're not only competing with someone that has their iPhone and say, hey, how are you doing? Like Mr. Beast was 7 years or 10 years ago. You're competing against massive production studios. I work for Prime Video, Netflix, Prime Video, all of those guys. They're investing millions into their channels. On top of that, you have like competition of peer YouTubers and peer content creators. Time has been sunk off from YouTube to dive into short form content like TikTok and so on. And there's no money in that really, except for specific cases. The attention of the audience has gone down and it's gone more competitive. So I truthfully believe in a way that the only way to make it is through better customer experience on viewership, unique content, and a unique approach. You have to build a brand. Okay? And I'm still very small. Like I'm nobody. But I have those aspects in mind. And I believe that you have to. So when we think about your wants today, I'm going to keep it at 350. But now let me tell you a little bit and we're going to speak serious about what I would do if I was in your case. Number one, it is very important that you find some sort of employment, but not the one that you expect. What I want you to do is right now there is a shift in the market where skills that you've acquired through your experience over the years are getting praised and a lot of value is being brought to it. So what I would do if I was in your shoes, I would cash out the damn crypto from all of that shit. Put that into a checking account and that's your base. I want you in the next couple of weeks here to raise that up to $10,000. Once you've reached $10,000 of savings, in the meantime, I want you to contact every creators that you have a passion for and you're going to offer to work for them. I don't care if you work for them for free because what is going to give you, this is going to be Education 2.0. If you happen to be able to work for a couple months, for a year and a half, number one, you're going to have to prove yourself, of course. Number two, if things work out pretty well, you're going to start earning money of this. And number three, the exit opportunities from you having the business card of working for a big creator is magnificent. This is the new Harvard when it comes to content creation. I had a friend who was a banker, was making $80,000 per year. He posted a video and applied to work for a big content creator. His income went from $80,000 to $40,000. From that point, he got the experience, the knowledge. Over time, he went up to 6 digits. After that, he found an exit, and today he's going through like $400+ per hour of consultancy, and he's working for some of the biggest content creators in a matter of 3 years. Why? Because this guy didn't give a damn about the amount of money that he was going to make in the first couple years. Got the business card. You're presenting yourself as a content creator or a strategist or like you were part of the team that has worked within some of those top guns, this now has value in the current world. And it's going to be a sacrifice because I want you to continue tightening the belt on everything you do. You cannot afford a crazy lifestyle right now, and I'm glad to see that you're not doing it. But what you have is you've acquired the skills, you've acquired the persistency, which is one of the biggest things in YouTube. People burn out left and right all the time. You've been showing proof here for 5 years. Yes, you have not had the results, but you've shown the sweat, equity, and the tenacity and motivation that you can put behind it. And this, to the eye of a creator, has a ton of value. So you are going to come to them and you're going to say, heck, I will do whatever it takes to join your team, even if it means working for free for you. You're going to do that for a couple months. You're going to show what you can do. You're going to show your motivation. And from that point, I can guarantee you're probably going to start earning money of it. And your exits are going to be crazy because you want to be in that world. And right now, those types of skills are in search. So if you can ally yourself to some of the big players, then that is what makes you unique in the space. But you have, no matter what, to satisfy the needs of assuming your day-to-day life. You cannot afford to take credit cards, to credit card debt or any other form of debt to go about that venture. So if you have to work freaking 80 hours, 40 hours with the content creator, 40 hours on the side to cover your day-to-day living, you do it. I don't care. I'm putting 75 hours last year because I want to make this happen. Now, the difference between you and I is that, I came with, in a way, a very sharp strategy. I look at this purely from an investment perspective. So I'm investing my time, I'm investing my passion. There is a form of passion. But I'm also taking a gamble at this venture because that's what I want to do as well. I want to give a shot at creating those interactions that I have with individuals like yourself. But also I'm giving a shot at this as a career. I like what I'm doing. I like this. But you have to think of it from a strategic. You can't just YOLO. You've been able to YOLO because you've had the coverage of your parents. If you didn't have your parents, my friend, and many people do not have this chance, today all of this wouldn't work out. So we have to play the cards with you that you have. You want to live outside of your house in a year, forget about that. Your priorities shouldn't be about moving out at all. Your priorities today is to build a resume that is not going to be coming from your Harvard degree or any of that stuff, but the resume of skills and of teams that you've been able to work in, aka experience. And that is going to have a tremendous monetary value. You gain that knowledge, you gain the reputation, then you can double dip on your content, potentially go your route, or you can continue to venture around those teams because YouTubers are becoming bigger and bigger. I went to conventions, Vid Summit. You will be surprised the scale of the teams behind channels. Like some of the biggest channels, like MrBeast has tens and tens, over 100 people working under him. So those are mini businesses. Those are mini companies. It's crazy. You can't realize, like there was a presenter that had, I'm not going to say his name, 15 million subs. The team was like 75 people. You don't know that. You think it's only one guy with his camera behind it. So there are opportunities in this job for people that want to go at it. And I think that you can show the quality of your work. You've shown to me before our discussion the quality of your organization and your structure, which I was very impressed. So you already have the foundations, but I don't think right now that it's the right time to pull it all on your own. It's too early. Get the experience through someone else that you can piggyback off their reputation. If you do good work, the number of doors that are going to open, you're not going to understand. It's crazy because right now it's a very attractive market to enter. So when you think about your passions, think about how can you ally yourself with someone. Round number 2, you do it like me. You crank yourself like no tomorrow in a corporate job that's going to allow you the finances to go towards your passion. But man, It took me 4 months to launch this channel. I had the idea in February. Our first video was in June. From February to June, I would put 2 to 3 hours a day learning how to do YouTube, how I was going to think about my approach. You have to think of it this way. You just can't pull your camera and say, hi, my name is X and I'm going to do this. Not anymore. The environment is too competitive. It's too tough. And I'm just a small guy. I'm no one, as I told you. But I know, however, that I have the financial backup to pursue those ventures. And today you don't have it. You're not showing it to me. So originally in my recommendation, I was going to say, okay, drop the bomb. Right now, it's not the time. But what you told me earlier changed my mind as to it. And I want to say 23 years old, you've been in the game for 5 years. The results materially are not there, but you still have the fire and the positive energy. So go at it, but go at it, your teeth on the table. And you give yourself 2 years. 2 years to make it. If you're not able to make it in 2 years, we have to find something that's a little bit more stable. Because for the next 2 years, you're going to grind like no tomorrow. But at 25, you still have a shot, if you haven't stacked on crazy debt, to be back on track on life. But use your young age, use your motivation, use the relationship that you've created, and dude, spam the heck out of the creators that you want to work with. I'm telling you, nobody is going to say no from you working for free. But do it. People don't have the courage to do it. You don't care. I mean, in a way, you've been working for 5 years for free for your own recognition of yourself, but not the recognition that currently is valued by the market. So get those going. From that point, what I want you to do is continue to be very frugal in your spending. No wants right now. No wants. Your wants are your passion is pursuing it. So I want you to start thinking about at some point as well, get a car or, have some form of transportation. This is going to allow yourself to open the areas of coverage that you have and you can find for employment. If you can use the car of your parents, just use, I don't want to say use, but leverage the cards that you have with your parents to shrink everything down and push the work. But you've shown tenacity, you've shown resilience, and those, I believe, are some of the greatest skills to make it in this industry. What do you think?
I've already worked for Marco Terzo. He's a creator with over 10 million subscribers, so I learned a lot there. I believe I have the opportunity to work with big creators. I have a lot of big creators in my connections, so I think I can do that.
So instead of investing into your own podcast right now, which is taking a massive amount of time, I mean, I know you do your own thumbnail. I know you do your own editing. No, that's not where you should allocate your time. No. How many videos do you have ahead of you right now?
3.
3, okay. You just post once every 2 weeks right now.
I post twice every week.
Yeah, I want you to reduce it to 1 every 2 weeks for now. I'm sorry, I don't want you to start recording any more content. Your attention and your time, I know this is rough. I'm not saying don't pursue this vertical that you're building right now. I'm saying this is not where I would, if I was in your shoes, allocate my time. Because you're here to make it. You're here to build something. If this was your passion project and you were not looking at this to make a career of it, I would say, yeah, continue that. No problem. Just pull a 40 hours job on the side and continue that. Cool. That's your project. That's your hobby. You're not making a career. No. You have to look at this from a business perspective. How am I going to invest the time so that it has the greatest rewards for me? It has to be this way, because otherwise the industry is going to cut you up. It's cutthroat. There is millions of people like me and like you that wants to do this. Millions. The cut is going to be between the guy that says, fuck it, for 2 years, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to build the greatest business cards that I can. The greatest one. And I'm going to network the hell out of what I can. Go to conventions. Speak to creators. Offer your help. Be there. Get the relationships as much as you can. From that point, once you've established yourself, you're going to be able to work with some of the greatest. And number 2, that is when you can bring your hobby, you can bring your inspiration, you can bring your passion. But don't put this step first. You're looking for the reward without putting the biggest step yet. What are your thoughts on this? I know I'm asking for a lot here.
Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts. I think that working for a big creator is something I can do because I can leverage my experience on YouTube for 5 years. I think I have a lot to add to a big creator. I think that I've always wanted to get a job that aligns with what I'm doing, because getting a regular 9-to-5 job, well, first of all, I don't have the degree to get anything that significant. But second of all, I want to be learning from my job. So I always try to get jobs that align. And I balanced it before. I did a marketing job for 1.5 years while still doing the output on the YouTube channel. So I know that I can do it again. And I think that I need to reach out to some creators and liquefy my crypto.
Right now, I would not invest in the channel. I would invest it as a hobby, keep it alive, make sure that you continue to maintain your happiness in it. But I wouldn't invest in diversifying and so on. I would invest in building the heck out of the relationships, because you can pull very fast some really good income. And then you can think about your own venture. You don't have the financial nest and the financial backup to allow you to lay that out. So either you go the route of sweat, or you go the route of a 9-to-5 to pursue your projects. But I think this for you speaks to me better right now. But you have to put, at least for now, a little bit on pause the other venture that you have. Your time is going to be your greatest essence. And don't forget that an hour today, Ozzy, is 10 hours in 10 years. Today, your time is 100% of your control. So invest it like it's gold. So reallocate your time. I know it's not, but we have to look at results to the market, not results to your eyes. Because your eyes and your perception of success is amazing for a mental state perspective, but it's not going to afford you to have a family one day, to invest into retirements, to invest into other ventures. You know, it's what we call the dreamer's disease. I had a video about a guy that said that. And what it is you're living in a dream state, but you have to satisfy the systems and order of our society, which is financial stability. And today, investing time into this venture does not satisfy those conditions. So yes, it can at some point create that, but that's not where I want you to allocate your time. Otherwise, you're just going to be in that constant state until you're 30 years old, and your parents are going to be like, hey, dude, like, you've been here for a decade. What the heck is going on with your life? And then it's tougher, because at 30 years old, you're starting to think differently. Right now is the grind time. But it's the grind time for you that gives you an amazing outcome. And I think that's how I would do it. Otherwise, you go back to school. But you're going to tell me, Romain, fuck off. That's not what I want to do. And I would say, yeah, that's probably not what you want to do. But the society has become too competitive for you to go at this halfway. Too many people are in the game. And only, I believe, the top will make it. So you have to sacrifice something. And today, I believe this sacrifice is your current channel. That is awful to say, but that is how you would have to play the game. All right. Any final words as we wrap up our discussion?
I appreciate all the feedback. I feel like I have a much better grip on the finances of YouTube and the 2 paths you laid out ahead of me that I'm very grateful for you sharing with me. And I really value your input. You seem to be incredibly smart with the finances and with the channel, and your growth is very impressive. So I'm grateful to just sit down and learn from you.
Okay, well, I mean, as I told you, we still remain humble. And even to you, the viewer, if you have a hobby, if you have something that you want to monetize, look at this from a strategic way. There is always so many options that are available to you. it is never too late to try and take a shot. So hopefully this video as well encourages you, and you are a perfect example highlighting kind of how you're going at this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys, for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, see you next time. À bientôt.